Sophomore defensive specialist Karlie comes from rich athletic heritage. Her father was a two-sport athlete at Robert Morris, while their mother played volleyball at Catholic University. The youngest of three children, Suber spent her early days attending athletic events.
I grew up going to the softball tournaments with my sisters and the basketball tournaments with my sisters. And so I kind of fell in love with basketball and volleyball all at the same time because my dad was a basketball star and my mom went to school for volleyball. So it was great to have so many choices in what I wanted to play and people that I could look up to when I was playing for advice.
Suber chose to attend the University of Virginia because of the balance of academics and athletics. Her academic interest gravitated towards kinesiology due to an experience with high school friend Cole Sydnor after he suffered an accident while kayaking on the James River.
So that was over 3 years ago now, but it was me and three of my friends, Will, Griffin, and David, at the James River. We were at this pipeline area where the rapids are kind of stronger than in other areas. At one point during the day, after we had been messing around all day long with no issues, I was just trying to cross the river, and because it was so fast, I needed to get some momentum. So I dove and hit a rock just below the surface of the water and instantly broke my neck. That cut off all functions below my chest. And so even though I was thinking to myself, kick, 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 and stroke, stroke, stroke across the river, nothing was happening. But luckily, my friend who was straggling behind was able to jump in and pull me out. It's kind of hard in that moment not to think, oh my gosh, like, this might be it. One of the things that always sticks out to me when I think about it is how quickly things turned, because that was such a beautiful day, hardly a cloud in the sky, perfect temperature, water's the perfect temperature, and then all of a sudden, boom, one little choice completely reshaped my entire life.
Being friends with Cole definitely changed my outlook on the world and what I should be grateful for and things that I take for granted that otherwise I might not have noticed.
Sydnor went into traction at the Medical College of Virginia, VCU, to align the vertebrae and then had surgery to stabilize his spine. Once stabilized, he was airlifted to the Shepherd Center in Atlanta, Georgia, for 122 days of rehabilitation.
Learned how to brush my teeth again, feed myself again, clothe myself again. All the things that you take for granted in everyday life that is stripped away, you got to relearn all those things.
It's just great to see people working with these paraplegics and quadriplegics and helping them through their hardest time of their lives. And I think it's really helping me decide what I want to do when I get older, and it's great to see that people will do this for people.
Later in his rehabilitation, Sydnor participated in the final stages of a clinical trial for a robotics-assisted walking device. Suber, along with some other close high school friends, traveled to Georgia to be with Cole during this time.
I was blessed to be part of a clinical trial for an exoskeleton, and I was the first quadriplegic to use this particular exoskeleton. And this is such a cool piece of equipment. It works like a Segway, but like a Segway, when you lean forward, it starts rolling forward, and when you lean back, it starts rolling backwards, and same when you turn, stuff like that. So similarly, this machine, when it would stand me up, when I would lean forward, it would take a step for me, and then when I'd lean forward, it'd take another step for me, which is super cool. And it was the first time that I had walked in a device like that since I got hurt, so it was a huge experience for me. Just being able to walk with your friends around you is a huge difference.
It was great because the first time he stood up, it was the first time in 3 years we've seen him upright, and he had grown 5 inches, and it was just great to look up at Cole again.
Now a student at the University of Richmond, Sydnor is gaining an education with the hope of paying it forward and helping others through challenging times.
Now I'm a psychology major, but with the neuroscience concentration. So I'm hoping that that'll take me into pharmacy, and I'd like to be able to develop drugs with mental disorders and help out with that, things like depression and addiction, I think that I can make a difference in that world and make a difference in other people's lives the way that people like Karlie have made a difference in my life.
The close bond they formed has changed both of their lives forever.
I've been blown away by how much Karlie's been a part of my life. Who would have thought that she would come down to Atlanta, Georgia to be a part of this experience with me? Like, it's rare to find a person like that, and I wouldn't trade her for anyone because she's just been so big in my life.
He developed such a strong relationship with his therapist, and that's like one of the things that I want to do when I'm older. So it's great to see that these people are impacting his life and that they can make him so happy and help him do things that he never thought he could do again. He's definitely just a blessing in my life that I can't thank him enough for being.